beloved divine friends and family, brothers and sisters in Guyana, the Caribbean, the diaspora. This is me, your friend, your brother, Haji, Dr. Roshan Khan, in the raw. Archies, Guyana, free media. And I'm speaking from out of Guyana, somewhere in the world, all alone. Sometimes being alone is good medicine. And so I thought it wise to do some readings on the Archies Guyana Free Media, because I know how much people look for these presentation now. And I do have a following, by the grace of God, great friends and supporters. Maybe some might be following me who don't like me, and that is good too. But I'm here all alone somewhere in the world. And I thought that I used the opportunity that my book, which was launched in Washington in front of the Capitol building of the United States of America, and which is slated to be launched very soon, and which has a tribute from no other than a man of great honor and one that I respect so much. Former President, Prime Minister, Minister of Home Affairs, Samuel Hines. You know, friends and families, as it comes to Samuel Hines, this outstanding gentleman, this patriot, leader, scholar of Guyana, I firmly and seriously believe that this man should get the highest Guyanese award. And also, if the Queen of England would see it fit, as a man of peace and dignity and honor, to award him a knighted appointment as Sir. Yes, I would love to hear him. Sir Samuel Archibald Hines. God bless him. I also wish, before I start the reading, to make a short commentary on actors and life, mortality of humanity. We all now know that the mighty Sean Connery, handsome and brilliant actor over the decades in the earlier James Bond series. The first one I saw him in was Dr. No, then Thunderball, then Goldfinger, then You Only Live Twice, and so on and so on. But you know, with me, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, all know, I do some acting. I acted on stage in Guyana. I acted some movies. And for those of you who might not know, if you go to YouTube, under Signal Productions, S, big S, small s, IGNEL Productions, by Bonnie Alves and Charmaine Blackman, you ask for the movie The Unbelieving Mom. Very nice, pleasant movie to teach your mothers to learn to listen to their children if their children is growing up with a stepfather, especially a girl child, and to find out whether they've been assaulted or brutalized or sexually molested or attempted to be sexually molested. This movie is about that, because she was an unbelieving mom. It's just a half an hour movie, and I acted the role as the principal of the school. 1, 2. There is another one that is called Old Haig. Well, we know what's Old Haig in Guyana, fire ass or vampire. Very good story too, and longer this time, 1 hour. So you can look for the same Signal Productions, big S, small s, Bonnie Alves movies or whatever in YouTube, and you ask for OLEHIGUE. But the point I'm trying to make, and there are other movies that I acted in too, you can probably look for Protection Game trailer. All right? And you can look for the trailer of Brown Sugar, Too Bitter for Me, by both of them by Mahadev Shivraj. I'm happy that he had selected me for 2 powerful roles in these 2 movies. Another one is supposed to be coming up very soon. But why I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, that as a young man, and this is an inspiration, I was always enamored with movies, with the films, and the film industry, how they function. But the thing that made me different from my peers as youths, instead of liming with them and allowing peer pressure to affect me, like smoking and drinking, until today at the age of 66, I never drank alcohol. I never smoked a cigarette. Talking about the discipline. And so, I am suggesting, since it's a little boy, that instead of just going for entertainment, I must learn to act, as if one day I will do acting. So Sean Connery was a man who impressed me tremendously. And you youths, if any of you are looking, and if you have children, you must let them look at some of my programs for inspiration. When you go to the movies as youths, you don't only go for entertainment, to get away from home, to smoke a cigarette, and to play a big boy. But I used to go as if I'm going to acting school. Yes. Sean Connery was one of my tutors in his movies as he acted, and I made his movie my college of acting. He was one of the English ones that truly inspired me. Next one, on the Indian side, was Dilip Kumar, and then Rajinder Kumar, and Shashi Kapoor. These were mega, magnificent actors whose style educated me and who helped also to create my persona, the personality that I live with. So for what it is worth, I just want to say this, children, youths, elderly people, mature people, to always use every opportunity to inspire your children for greatness. Friends and families, I prepare for another part in this In the Raw. Your brother Haji Roshan on this segment, on this piece of this presentation, saying farewell for now as I go to reading some parts of this book. Farewell, friends. From me, Haji Roshan, somewhere in the world, all alone. I'll give you some readings from the beginning. Hoping to take this up to about 30 minutes. And then another reading later on for maybe another 30 minutes. Not to read the entire book. This is a book that has articles compiled that I've been sending out over the decades. But my articles today is now being prepared in modern times for a part 2, simply because they, to me, are more useful in current events, but then I needed some of the past to show how maturity kicked in. And as I said, this is in the raw, RK's Guyana Free Media, and I, your brother, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan, is somewhere in the world all alone. So the dedication of this book goes to this woman, that amazing woman, my mother, my goddess, the one who took the brunt of pains and who had the vision to work fast, to educate me, and to allow me to do whatever I wanted to do that was good for me. So the little bit I wrote dedicating this book to her is this. Dedication, Mrs. Latifah Khan. From the depth of my heart and soul, I, Haji Roshan Khan, respectfully dedicate this book to my beloved mother, Mrs. Latifah Khan. My beloved mother, Mrs. Latifah Khan. My pride and joy and the guiding light in my life from my earliest years until now. May the richest blessings and mercies of Almighty God be upon her always. Haji Roshan Khan. God bless her soul. I'm fortunate she's alive. Unfortunately, due to COVID, since March I have not visited her, and I made it a must that every 2 or 3 months I must visit her and spend a few days with her. Cook, feed, play, dance for her. As a little boy, my mother used to enjoy seeing me dancing. She still likes to see me dancing today. And now she likes to see me singing. And my forward or introduction to the book is this: a national contribution of unique vision, passion, and purpose. And there's this other part here that's a tribute from no other than a man of great respect, Samuel Archibald Hines, former President, Prime Minister, Home Affairs Minister, and definite patriot par excellence in Guyana, a true patriot. One day, Guyanese civilization and historians will probably give to Mr. Samuel Hines the accolades he deserved as one who tried to bridge the gap of our peoples to create one human family in Guyana. So let me read this piece here, ladies and gentlemen. Haji Roshan Khan contributions to the national discourse and social development of Guyana make compelling reading because his observations are based on highly motivated and successful life driven by his unique vision, passion, and purpose. Back in 1979, no one would have guessed that Roshan's life would have turned out this way. That was when he heard 2 words no employee ever wants to hear: "You're fired." And he smiled. You're fired. You know, after a very traumatic and difficult few years of my life then, which came about of someone who's supposed to love me in his attempt to try and destroy me, but in the process, as karma is such a bitch, and it pains my heart that those that he loved and those that he tried to push are the ones who truly suffer. But that is life. I am not proud. I am not bitter, because as a child, facing the brutalities that I did, I learned to take life one level at a time. I would shed tears. I would feel the pains. I would suffer. But there was always an energy that would come and give me succor or strength. Let's go back to the book. It was a blessing in disguise. He quickly turned this bad experience into the bridge between dreaming and doing. With just $7.50 in his name, he decided to start a security business and make it a success. It was a lonely, stressful, and all-consuming path. But his revolutionary approach helped him to break all barriers in the security industry. Today, RK's Guyana Security Services stretches across the length and breadth of Guyana, and his group of companies has expanded to include real estate and vehicle sales. In reality, really, at this juncture, it is the assembly, manufacture in some parts, and sale of three-wheeled vehicles, which I pioneered in Guyana. And I'm proud to know that I did that. Back to the article. It is clear that he did not allow his harsh childhood, which includes physical brutalities and mental torture, to break him. Instead, he became friends with nature, making frequent visits to the seawall, to meditate on the water, the wind, and the birds. His meditations combined to shape his perspective of life and became his healing balm. Further, he was inspired by his Jehovah's Witness brother, mentor, Brother Ned, who was his Bible teacher, and his Islamic teacher, Arnold Omar, who told him, "You have a good heart and you will do well, but never trust the human flesh." I remember those words from my Ustad, friends and families, when he told me, never trust a human flesh. God bless Ustad, which means teacher, spiritual teacher, Arnold Omar. God bless his soul. Instead of being in the company of boys who smoked and drank, he was a loner, finding inspiration from nature and books, such as The Power of Positive Thinking, a concept which he continues to embrace. He also found comfort in various scriptures, holy books, hymns, bhajans, and qasidas. Today he continues to be inspired by the Hindu concept of karma yoga and the Muslim concept of khidmat-ul-insan, both of which propagate the service to humanity. A standpoint feature of Roshan Khan's success is his ability to interact easily and meaningfully with persons at all levels of society. He understands the way the movers and shakers in society think and act, but he never loses touch with how grassroots people view life. And he has genuine empathy for their concerns and issues. That is why people across the board are keenly interested in Roshan Khan's social commentary. That is why this collection of letters is important, but it is not the only reason. But let's remember also now that I've started the RK's Guyana Free Media, so there's public commentary as well from family. And do remember, friend, I am doing a selfie in my hand, I'm reading a book, and I'm making commentary at the same time. That is why this is called In the Raw. I can't wait for perfection, or the idea might just pass me by. Hearing the thunderclap, and the sounds of nature, as nature manufactures ozonated, purified water to replenish and give life to the earth, and many cases to the dead earth. Let's be inspired by everything we see in nature, including a leaf, some of which we eat to survive. It is also vitally important because it represents this historical record of the social advocacy of a great son of the soil who is not afraid to speak truth to power and stand up for the downtrodden Davids of this land against the Goliaths, who have privilege, authority, and wealth. Roshan's deep concern for others and his genuine love of Guyana from the basis of his social activism. When he first started out in business, he met prospective clients face to face and dealt on one-on-one with all the guards he employed. Through these interactions, he got to know how strongly people felt about issues and events that affected their lives. He also learned that most persons confine their views to a close circle of family, friends, and colleagues, and very few were willing to or able to state their views in the national discourse. When he became aware of this, Roshan decided to voice his opinion on public matters frequently and fearlessly in the national interest. He also decided to become a social activist for the persons who could not or would not raise their concerns publicly. What sets him apart is that he is not intimidated by anyone or anything, and is quite prepared to go it alone. This was brought into sharp focus in 2017 when he staged a one-man protest against the imposition of VAT on the private education to bring the issue into sharp focus in the national consciousness against the public outcry. The government withdrew the decision to institute the tax, friends and families. I take credit for that. And yes, VAT on education is one of the things that turned the minds of the youth when I told the government in interviews that the students will graduate next year. They will be 18. They will vote. Another set the following year by the thousands. They will be 18 and they will vote. And another set the following years and years to come. You cannot give with your left hand and kick the citizens of this country with your left foot. This was in 2017 during the APNO AFC government. And they mocked me and hated me. And one particular warlord went on a campaign to destroy my business. But I'm still alive. And here, somewhere in the world, all alone, friends and family. The fact that Roshan built a business from the ground up and turned it into a security industry colossus is enough to generate public interest in his words, vision and thoughts on national issues. But his social commentary is even more valuable because it helps to guide the national discourse that fuels the decisions to push the nation forward. Many things the government before 2015 took from me but never gave me my credit. Even private, personal things that I advised a president, he never gave me my credit but gave it to the Muslim community. Alhamdulillah. He did take my idea, and God bless him. But I'm a man, like most inventors and creation of ideas, who like to have his credit. His reasonable, balanced approach to social activism has been noticed and rewarded. He is a key member of the International Peace Federation, that is the Universal Peace Federation, and rose to the position of chairman, where, what's more, he is now a commissioner in the Guyana's Ethnic Relations Commission, a parliamentary appointed position for race and ethnicity, in which we have 12 of them in the country, friends and family. These positions exemplify his lifelong goal to deliver peace and enlightenment and happiness to Guyana and the world. This mission took him to many nations and brought him eye to eye with prominent world leaders. In all of his travels and encounters with high-ranking world leaders, he has always promoted the interests of his beloved homeland, Guyana. Roshan never lost sight of the importance of continued learning and innovation. His entrance, he interacts with positive, inspired people without regard for their race, creed, wealth, education, or social background. His astuteness and open-mindedness permeate this book. I read that again. His astuteness and open-mindedness permeate this book. When he has something worth saying, he's not afraid to say it. Read and be enlightened. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, from my eye days, the editor who helped me to put this together, Miss Gwen, Evelyn, put that together with some information she gathered about me and some few points I gave her. So I wish to recognize her for helping me to edit this book and make it possible. Friends and family, your brother me, Haji, Dr. Roshan Khan, out of this segment now because it will pass 30 minutes with the introductory piece, and maybe Zamina Muslim, my coordinator and new editor of part 2 of my words, my vision, my thoughts, which will come out sometime later in the new year. So I want to thank these two ladies in their own way for helping me to make all of this possible for now. And you for listening, for being my friend, for allowing me to enter into your hearts and into your homes, and for you to spend your valuable time with me. May God bless you. Your friend, your brother, me, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan, somewhere in the world, in the raw, RK's Guyana Free Media, saying Shalom, Salam, Namaste, Om Shanti, and a wonderful, wonderful good morning, good evening, good day, as the case may be when you listen to this. Farewell, friends.